Hello and welcome. As you can tell by the title, I'm the obsessed movie man, O.M.M. Is there any holiday classic better to read during Christmas than Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol? Well, there's no better time to than now. This year marks the 180th anniversary of the story. But instead of reading it, let's watch a film adaptation. I've already talked about the 1984 version, so let's talk about the next best version. The Muppets version.
Yes. While it's probably not the all-time best adaptation of the story, A Muppet's Christmas Carol is a favorite amongst Muppet fans and Christmas Carol fans. It's got a good mix of comedy, drama, and musical moments, all with adorable little puppets who try to teach Michael Caine the meaning of Christmas. In all honesty, I'm fairly certain everyone knows the plot of this story at this point, so I'm going to skip the synopsis this time. Hopefully the Christmas gods don't strike me down. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Muppets growing up, if I'm being truthful. I saw Muppets from Space in the theaters, and I sadly didn't watch The Muppet Show, but whenever there was a special involving them, I did watch it. I also have a lot of respect for Jim Henson and the countless others who created these unique characters and brought them to life. But my introduction to this film was watching a trailer for it on one of my many Disney VHS tapes. I still remember it very well, and while I didn't watch the movie right away, it did make me want to watch it.
So fast forward years into my adulthood, and I've finally seen it. Yes, this is the first time I've seen A Muppet's Christmas Carol. I know. I'm ashamed too.
First thing I'll compliment is Michael Caine as Scrooge. When I heard the casting, this sounded perfect to me. Michael Caine commands so much respect with his acting abilities that I knew he would be a fantastic Scrooge. As most people probably know, Michael Caine insisted on playing the role straight, and not be cartoonish despite the fact that most of his co-stars are, well, you know. I believe this works very well for the benefit of the film. It adds legitimacy to the story, but also shows respect to the Muppets themselves, with the fact that Caine is acting this well alongside them. He doesn't feel out of place. He's acting as if he was in any other version of A Christmas Carol. I will say though, there are some moments where the emotional side of him seems a bit weak. Actually, a lot of the more tender moments seem weak, I'm not gonna lie. But where Michael Caine strives is in the earlier parts of the film. The casting of each Muppet in their Dickens role is on point. Kermit as Bob Cratchit with Miss Piggy as his wife, Statler and Waldorf as the Marley Brothers, and Gonzo as Charles Dickens. And we can't forget Rizzo the Rat as himself. Perfect casting. But the one I laughed the hardest at was Fozzie Bear as Fozziewig. That was too funny for me. There's also original Muppet versions of the Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. The three of them have really cool designs, especially the Ghost of Christmas Past. It looks and sounds like a child, but the face has a hint of aging to it as well. That might have been my favorite of the three ghosts. The movie doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of the book. While I enjoyed Gonzo and Rizzo, their comedy began to wear thin on me, and I was grateful they departed for the Ghost of Christmas Future portion of the story. When we got to that part, it felt more serious and somber, even with the Muppets in it. I could feel the emotions, and saw that the filmmakers did show respect to the novel. I enjoyed some of the music. Oh, did I forget to mention that it's a musical? Well, it is. This is not the only musical version of A Christmas Carol, but it's the one I think most people are aware of. There are some good songs, like the opening one, the Marley Brothers song, and Bob Cratchit's song, but then there are some that I really just don't like. Interestingly enough, there was a song that was filmed, but didn't make it into the final cut. The song was When Love Is Gone, and it's sung by Scrooge's former love, Belle. It was thought that the song would not be found appealing to younger viewers by that slimy, disgusting Disney chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg. You know, the guy who wanted part of your world removed from Little Mermaid. If you know your Disney history, chances are you know a lot about good old Jeffrey, but let's not dwell on him now. It is the holidays after all. What I will say is that you can hear and see this song performed in the bonus features of the movie via Disney+. It's well worth checking out. My biggest complaint with the film is the pacing. I get that it's basically a children's adaptation of A Christmas Carol, but something like Mickey's Christmas Carol told the story even shorter, and yet it felt more concise. I don't really know how best to describe it, but I'll try. The addition of Fred's relationship with his Uncle Scrooge is established, but it's resolved through a quick montage near the end where we don't even hear them talk. Scrooge and Belle's relationship is rushed even more than it is in other adaptations. They basically just say, hello, and in the next scene, they break up. Hell, at least in the 1984 version, and in Mickey's Christmas Carol, they danced. This is really difficult for me to review. I've wanted to see this film for a long time now. I'm a casual fan of the Muppets, but I am a bigger fan of this classic Christmas story. I know a lot of people love this film, and I do know people who say they love this version of A Christmas Carol the most. But I'm sorry, I thought it was just fine. The highlights for me are the puppet work, some of Michael Caine's acting, and some of the songs. The comedy was hit or miss for me, which is almost inexcusable for the Muppets. It should be noted that this was the first Muppets project after Muppet creator Jim Henson and Muppet performer Richard Hunt passed away. The film was dedicated to them at the beginning of the film, and I kind of wonder if some of the magic was lost when they passed. As it is, the film is fine. I don't entirely see the hype, but if you're interested in seeing it, check it out on Disney+.
And just to reiterate, I don't hate A Muppet's Christmas Carol. It's just not really for me. Still, it's kind of a bummer to end this review on kind of a negative note, and without a Santa Claus cameo for the Christmas review. But I do have a special Christmas present for you guys. I was able to get in contact with someone who worked on A Muppet's Christmas Carol, and he agreed to tell us some behind-the-scenes stories of the making of the film. So, without further ado, I present to you, Cremmy.
Wow, what a great review of the Muppets Christmas Carol. Everyone loves that movie. I'm sure the review was totally positive. I loved working with Mr. Cocaine and all the other actors. Not with Fozzie, though. Okay, let me get back to it. Hold on. Let's go play some Lego Fortnite. Come on, Gonzo. We gotta get more wood if we're gonna build a cool base. Grammy, what are you doing? What do you mean, Gonzo? I'm just mining for some wood.
No, I mean he sent you like a whole script and you're kind of ignoring it to play a video game. It just kind of seems reductive.
What do you mean reductive?
Like you don't respect the source material.
Job. I didn't really care for the movie. I wasn't in it that
Michelle
much. I just
Lover,
want
it's
to
a
gym
classic
right
movie
now,
and
and
all.
I don't really feel in it, you know?
And it's like you don't even give it any time or thought
What
or
do you mean
anything.
by reduct? I don't even know what that means. I mean, I don't care.
I don't
for the
really think you're
movie,
being very serious right now.
It's my experience. I've had a lot of body of work, but you know.
It just seems like you don't care about your work.